You are watching Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen, brought to you by the good people at the Hockey News and Sports Illustrated.
And Paramount Sports Management.
That is not a young Gouche. That is a young winner chicken dinner.
Yep. Could you name the two people on the outsides?
Kevin Lowe.
Kevin Lowe and Scott Housen. Know Scott for a long time.
I don't know Scotty Housen. Who's the guy in his jacket? That's got to be his father? I'm just guessing. Well, we're going to ask him. He's coming up right now.
Yeah. Why don't we?
Listen, what a day! What a day! What your day? We're going to talk to him. You know, he was a first-round draft pick, eh?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
25 overall, 2004.
Good year, 2004. Won the World Championships in Helsinki, Finland.
Yeah. I don't know where I was. Listen, what's really cool about this dude is we have to make the official. He's going to have to make an acceptance speech.
Yes, he is.
And I bet you he's got a tux on, guaranteed.
I bet you he doesn't, and I bet you winning the inaugural Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen playoff cup with 24 points, the one, the only, the eighth wonder of the world, Robbie Schremp. You're supposed to put him on when I say that, Gouche.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, yeah, it was an introduction. What is that?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to
the Gouche Cup.
That's right.
Robbie Schremp.
Go time, baby, for the winner. That's right.
24 points.
Okay, let's all
performance. And you know what?
Say it all together. Winner.
Coming up soon, we got the guy in last place, Ken Reid, with 4 points.
That's tough, boys.
Oof. Qualified.
Well, Gouche got DQ'd in the semis.
Well, he's disqualified. I picked every wrong team except the.
So honestly, Robbie, you've been.
No, but I did pick Tampa Bay to win it in 7.
No, you didn't. Anyways,
it seems like we're having a little bit of internet issues. Thank you for coming on, Robert Wind.
You've won a lot of things in your career. Where does winning the Gouche Cup stand, Rob?
Oh, buddy, it's probably 1B right behind the Memorial Cup.
Wow,
it's so much on the line here.
Holy Jesus!
Didn't get. I don't know where the parade is or when the parade's going to be. I'm still waiting for Gouche to send me the details on when the parade with the cup or the 5 pounds of baked beans is.
There's no parade.
COVID.
Robbie, you
know the one
that
thing
it's
you got to
COVID,
do
we
now.
Can't have a parade. We could do a virtual.
Yeah.
Now
I know we're delayed, guys.
Now you are you're defending champ. What's wrong?
Okay. We have a delay, so we're just going to have to try and battle over each other. Put your hand up when you want to talk.
Rob, next year.
Okay, go, Paul.
Next year, you're defending champ. It's always hard to repeat. So we're coming after you hard next year, Robbie.
I don't know, boys.
I've already started training.
There's seeing what's behind and what was chasing me in this playoff race. I think this is. I think my team's looking like something like a dynasty with what I'm up against.
Wow. to knock me and Gouche, I'm cool, but to knock Steve Ellis, woo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we are having major issues with the internet. I'm the only one that's not I was faking.
You should
all right, listen, Robbie Schremp, tell us who's in this picture.
It's Kevin Lowe, Scott Housen, and Kevin Prendergast.
Okay.
He was the head of scout in there for a long time. Great guy.
Yeah.
Head scout, Kevin Prendergast, phenomenal dude. Really nice guy. He was awesome to me, and I loved when he came around. He was very insightful, always helping out and trying to help me get up to the show and give me some insight on what it takes. So got a chance to know him and his family very well, and they're amazing people. So really enjoyed my time with those guys.
Go ahead, Gouche.
Well, it worked because there you are. as a London Knight. Again, we're going a little slow, guys, but it's our speed now, right? The way the level, we used to be really slick, dynamic, smooth, especially your hands, Robbie.
Retirement mode.
Robbie, what was it like to?
I think we're going to have to get a new internet provider.
We're going to talk NHL, but what was it like to play with the London Knights organization?
It was amazing. We won so many games, and learned a lot from Dale Hunter and what it took to be a champion. The first year we lost to Guelph, and a lot of disappointment. We thought we had a really good team. We thought in our minds, we were the better team. Guelph did, upset us. Learned a lot, and it was just the fan base that was there, the guys on the team, the camaraderie, everything wrapped around it. The city embraced us all as kids. And every Friday, it seemed like every Friday night we were at home, we put on a show, and it had that energy, and it was amazing. It really was tough to top that, and I never really did in my pro career, to be honest with you. Didn't have a setting like that, playing on a nightly basis. So that was the time that I cherished the most through my career, was playing in London. It was just every game. It seemed like every game you're going to the rink, you had no worries in the sense of, are we going to win or not? It really was confident swagger that we had, and we came and performed, and we had a great leader behind the bench, and we had a great group of guys. So it was a phenomenal 3 years in my experience of hockey.
Fantastic. Gouche, you there?
He's frozen.
Is Gouche frozen, or is he pulling a mime? Well, I'm going to pretend he's frozen. Let's talk about the draft. Okay, we just had the draft. It was a little different this year, because it was virtual. The players weren't there. Let's go back to your draft when you were taken. What was that like? And do you still get like the hair still come up on your arm when you watch a draft?
Yeah, it was intense. It was such a intense kind of day, and a lot of unknown. And I had like 130 people in attendance. A lot of people drove down. Some people, my aunts and uncles, took their motorhome down there. Like 3 or 4 people did that. A lot of people came, so it was a big celebration, and it was a great day. When I finally got picked, there was a huge roar, and it was all my family and friends, and it was pretty cool. It was special, and to get a chance to, all those people were involved through my journey to get there. So to have them there on that day was really special, and to kind of, probably from the time about 14 years old to 18, so 4 years of really driving to that point and trying to get drafted, trying to get to the NHL, and that's the day you get picked by someone, and your dream gets a little bit closer. So it's a really intense day, and it was a lot of emotions, but it was very exciting.
Hey, Robbie, could you tell us? Paul and I have been following one special kid. His name is Tim Stutzel. He's from Mannheim. He played for Mannheim. He's from a little town called Thiersen, which is just outside of a city I played in. Krefeld. It's an incredible area. What could you tell him? He got drafted 3rd overall to the Ottawa Senators. Really good kid. Paul and I had an opportunity to talk to him a couple days before the draft. Really down to earth, very skilled, very smooth skater. What could you tell him as he's preparing, coming over from Germany to Ottawa? What does he need to be thinking about before he gets on the ice in training camp?
I think you just put your time into being prepared. I know the game's changed a lot. Everybody is prepared going into training camp. Stay confident. This comment kind of obviously might not make sense, but the shape of the rink is the same for everybody. I can't say the shape or the size of the rink is the same, because in North America, it's smaller than over in Europe, but the rink shape is the same size. So a lot of the things will be effective in the NHL and at that level. And, even if he starts out, has to climb up through the minors, again, the shape of the rink is the same size. Keep your confidence and believe in yourself. And I think that's what's most important as an athlete and as a young guy is believing that you can do it. There's going to be some pressure. There's going to be some people that say you can't do that here. That stuff's not for here, but believing in your game and trusting in it and working on it, I guess, would be a long story long, but really stick to your guns and believe in yourself.
Great answer. Great advice. Friday, tomorrow, is free agency. There's a lot of guys that are, sitting at home. They're not sure what's going on. They're talking to the agent. We've got a flat cap this year. It's kind of not the best time to be a free agent. What, first of all, were you in your career? Was there a time where you were unrestricted? And what do you think the guys are going through right now?
No, I never had the chance to be a UFA. I was over in Europe by 26, so I didn't hit that mark as far as games played or age. But it's a thing now where the agents kind of have a lot of say in this, and that's where they, in my opinion, they earn a lot of their, what they get paid for is at times like these and these moments of UFA and finding the right place for the player and in the business side of it, finding the right money. But I think it's exciting for most guys. I can't speak from experience, just having a couple buddies go through it. That's where I speak from, but it's an exciting time and new beginnings for some guys. And that could be a good thing for some players. They want a new look on it and new view in a new city and new rejuvenized excitement. And I think, the money side of it too, is a chance to get a payday. And even though it's not, like you said, flat cap, maybe the paydays won't be as big as they've used to be, but it's still pretty good money to whack the piece of rubber around. So it's exciting time. I don't think so much nerve wracking, but I think what's more nerve wracking is figure out when they're going to start and when they're going to get to that new city and set up. You get the logistics of family and living somewhere and those kind of things come into play. So it's somewhere along those lines, and maybe that's a little bit. But as far as the hockey side of it, I think it's more exciting to get a new start and get somewhere where a team really wants you, because when they come firing that money at you and giving you the terms that you want, it's somebody wants you. So feels pretty good, I think. I can't speak from experience, but.
Now, you and I have traveled together. We were in Sheffield, England. Here's a great shot of that. And you were one of the stars for the Americans. Tell me about your travels now, of course, because you were a stud there. Everybody wanted to see you. And I said to you, hey, go do some of your tricks. And I actually had to look at your stick to see if you had Velcro on the puck or, I don't know, crazy glue. Paul, what he can do is, the only thing he couldn't do is throw it up 60 feet and catch it. But you stated that there was a little bit of ice at the bottom of the blade. So we'll believe that. Tell us about the travels, of course, playing the NHL, you're flying around, and maybe you obviously playing in junior, it's a bus. Then you came over to us, you were on the tube in London. Tell us about all that, travel that you had to experience, because, and the reason I'm asking that, Tim they took a bus everywhere. Now all of a sudden you're flying around. It's got to be a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. Travel is another thing. It's wear and tear in your body too, in the way you travel. So, the luxury of playing the NHL is so you're getting good rest after games where you go in the other leagues. You're playing a game, then hopping on a bus, and you're really kind of crammed in. It had a big impact on me when I came back and played in the minors in the AHL. When I was about 20, I think it was 28. Played in Portland. It was not so much the hockey was as physical when I was a rookie playing in the A. It was those bus rides took a toll on my body as I got older. So it plays a role in it, in the recovery side of it. So something to think about. And it's Sweden, we flew everywhere, which was great. Austria was a good league, but it was low travel. Switzerland, low travel. So those are factors that go into it as well. And it adds longevity to your career. It's a great place to play in Switzerland, but also you think about the travel. You're home most nights. We didn't stay in a hotel in Switzerland. Not one night. We were back home every night. Whether the latest we get back was 1 or 2. Where sometimes in the minors you could be pulling up to a city at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, get to the rink at 11 or 11:30 just to do something, and then play that night. It's a tough grind. Some people might say suck it up, but I'd say go through it and then tell me to suck it up. It's a grind. Yeah, travel, it's unique, but it's also fun. There's an exciting part of it too, playing in different cities, playing different barns, different atmospheres. And sometimes with that kind of, what do you want to call it? Like controversy, you're playing through that and grinding through it. It adds another element to playing the game.
Right. Rob, I want to ask you something. it's been talked about a lot. And, I played my 10 years. I played for Canada. Money wasn't an issue. We were getting nothing. We were making 18,000 Sport Canada money. It was playing for your country. That was the big thing. But, you talk about different guys now, term versus money. Robin Leonard's a perfect example. He probably could have got a little more than $5 million a year for a few years, but he decided to go with 5 years at $5 million a year with Vegas. He seems to love Vegas. He's had a rough number of years with his mental health. What do you think about guys like that, where the going for maybe 2 years at 7 or 8 million, as opposed to longevity and going for 5 years with a little more term, but a lot less money?
I think comfort is a huge part of it, and I can't speak for Robin, sorry. But I think the way that he was embraced, that playoff run, being comfortable in a setting, for me, speaking someone, with the mental health side of it, having that comfort of feeling at home. I can't speak for him, but I kind of imagine seeing the way he's reacted to being in Vegas. He feels he found a home. In the way that he felt about Long Island, just from his words, he really felt comfortable there. That has so much value in it, and I think it takes away from chasing the dollar, so to speak. Just to feel good every day going to the rink, feel supported, it takes your game another level. I can speak from experience on that, feeling at home, and that's something I felt in London. I felt safe, I felt comfortable, and it gave me the best chance to go out and perform. If I could have bottled up that feeling and comfort level everywhere I went, I think it would have been a little bit different career. But for that, in that speaking terms, I think that's somewhere where along the lines of, comfort's first, and the money's, it's good money. You're not leaving, I can't speak for them, but you're making good money to play something you love, and being comfortable is the most important thing, I think.
Hey, listen, thanks for that answer. Great answer. Listen, Paul,
Yep.
Aaron Kuzak's on. I got a couple of questions here for you on the right-hand side. Rob, thanks for taking this. Obviously, I wanted you around 4:20, and you said, Gouche, I'll be in bed by then. I forget that you're in Latvia on the other side of the world, so I apologize for that. But we got a couple of great comments here. You're always one of our favorites, of course. And Aaron Kuzak, who's actually exactly across the world from you in Melbourne, Australia. What's the badge on your cap, Rob? He's a real big cap guy, so I'm going to have to steal one from you.
Absolutely. It's the company that created my business partner, Dave Cochran. It's called 44 Vision Hockey, and it's an online coaching platform. So that's what it represents. We built a team of coaches.
Website, right?
44visionhockey.com. Yeah. So the 44V is an abbreviation of it. And I love the logo, love the brand. I think it's a cool cap. So we'll try to get some in Australia. We're looking to grow there with the Gouche.
Yeah, we will do that. Absolutely. We'll get you organized there once we get out of this craziness. We could do it without that, actually. Listen, what's really important, Paul, the three of us are going to get hats then. All right? You, me, and Aaron. And that'll be in exchange for the can of beans. You got to let us know when they show up. I hope they show up and they haven't opened the jar just to see what's in it.
I better not be paying duty on that.
No.
Gouche would stiff me with that duty free.
You're taking my bonus. I threw my bonus this year on Gouche Life to the baked beans for you, Robbie.
Hey, listen, and no, we went from a single can to a large. Hey, listen, Aaron's also saying it's a great logo. I'll rep it for you. So we'll talk about that afterwards. Robert Wine, big friend of ours, thank you for asking, Aaron, because I'm wondering the V is and why 44. Well, Robert's 44 in age. And
hey, take it easy.
Yeah,
I wore 44 my whole life. My dad's best friend. It's actually I got my name. His best friend, sad story, passed away about a year before I was born, and I was born. They named me. My name is Robert, but they call me Robbie after Robbie Stubert, and his number was 44. So I rocked the 44, and when I played, the years that I didn't, I tried to pick something. 1 year Long Island, I was 13. I wore my dad's high school basketball number. And then whenever I could get back to 44, I did. So it's tattooed on my body, and now it's tattooed on my logo from the business, and it's in my life. It'll always be there.
Perfect.
That's an amazing story. Paul.
Yeah. Let's just finalize the season. Obviously you won we joked around, but you won You won the pool with 24 points. You rode Tampa a long time. Were you happy with the way the season ended? The bubble, no tests positive for COVID, and Tampa Bay gets their Stanley Cup championship. What's your thoughts on it? Wrap it all up for us.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job as an organization in putting that together, keeping the players safe, and at the end getting a chance for their families to get in there and get to see them. Tough situation to play like that and being under those circumstances. But at the end of the day, they had to find a way to keep the business going. And it is a big business. We think of it as a game. We love it as a game. But at the end of the day, there's TV rights, there's business, and they had to save a lot of money or that cap would be a lot different. So I think they did a hell of a job, and to have Tampa finally come through. I mean, it was tough to watch my buddy Corey Perry lose in the finals. It would have been nice to have him get that second cup.
Yeah.
But thinking objectively, Tampa, their team winning the President's Trophy a couple of years ago or last season. This COVID's kind of got my memory off, but have them lose that first round of Columbus, and they have a great hockey team. I mean, watching them play. They have so many guys, so many cool stories like Yanni Cord coming up from the coast, traveling all the way up, and now being a huge impact in the NHL. There's so many good stories on that, and Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman, go down the list. So they have a hell of a team, and I think they really deserved it. And they had to go. What I saw was in like my time in London, how we got knocked off by Guelph, came back, with vengeance and got that trophy. So happy for them, because I know that if that would have slipped, it's tough for that good of a team not to win a cup or win a championship. So it was great. I think all in all, it was a great product. They did a hell of a job decking out the rink, so it looked pretty cool, even though there's no fans in there. I thought it was really cool looking. I think I didn't get a chance playing there, obviously, but I think it would have been fun to play in too. Probably in the beginning it was a little awkward, but once they get going, it was a cool setup, and they had all the video features and family members saying hi to them and stuff like that. Like, they did a great job. I think they did it. The NHL is a great organization and a great league, and they did a good job.
Listen, we have Ken Reid coming up. He's got a book out called oh God, I had it right in front of me. Why can't I remember? Oh, because it is one to remember. So he's got 39 guys that scored one goal in the National Hockey League. It's not a cup of coffee, because they played probably more games. But we know you scored a lot more than one goal. Just before we get going here with you, I know it's late. There's a couple of really cool questions here. One being, what was your favorite stadium to play in?
It's being a world traveler, that's tough. I mean, there's Davos, which was amazing. Bern in the Swiss League, and then in the NHL, it was between Chicago and Montreal. Unbelievable atmospheres. Chicago felt like there was a 19,000 person party going on, and there just happened to be a hockey game in the middle of it. That was my take from it. And then Montreal, I mean, we played them on Tuesday night in the island, and we weren't a high ranked team, and the energy in that building was insanity. It felt like a playoff game, and those people were very passionate. So that's my four answers, I guess.
Any team in this finals that you were surprised at? My Jets losing out?
Yeah. They were kind of on the down spiral. I didn't see them, prevailing. Not really, to be honest with you. No one disappointed, so to speak. I think the right teams got through. Those were a lot of them were the ones I picked.
All right, so Paul, I've got a really important thing. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I'm sure you haven't. Winter chicken dinner. Did you guys hear the rumor about Steve Stamkos?
Possibly not being protected?
There is talk that they are looking at a multi-big deal for Steven Stamkos. Came on I just got it on my
to where
handy dandy.
To where?
They didn't say they're gonna listen to big offers. Ask Ken Reid. He'll know that.
It would be nice to see him play his entire career in Tampa, but you know what? They won without him. They've got a lot of the guys coming back. It depends on what a team's going to offer.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, he's not a copy paste player. You don't create Steven Stamkos's every day. There's two sides of the game, though. I see, Corey Crawford's not getting signed back. What he's done for Chicago has been amazing, but it's the way the game's going. There's no longer that stick around to your 35, 36. It's the game's turning over quick. And right now is probably, if you think about it objectively, it would be probably the right time to move him. His value is the highest it's going to be.
listen, we are so lucky, to have you. Obviously, first round draft pick, 25th overall in 2004 from the Edmonton Oilers. What's really cool is we got Ken Reid coming up. Hey, Kenny, what's going on?
What's up, boys?
Our friend, the winner of the Gouche, the inaugural Gouche Cup, 5-pound can of baked beans. You were in the tournament, but you never gave your finals, right? We never got who you picked in the finals, so you were disqualified. You would have beat him for sure. I have my money on you, Kenny.
Oh yeah.
In the first, you gave up with 4 points in the first round. We couldn't get a hold of you. You never came back.
You would have won.
I ran away. It's always nice to be the fourth best hockey player on a podcast, boys. So thanks for having me.
I'm not sure that's true. Hey, listen, we got our friend Robbie Schremp here for a couple minutes. He's got to get to bed. He's staying in shape because he is going to join us in 2021 when we go to Australia and we do our ice hockey classic.
Sweet.
This man is going to be on Team USA. I apologize. And the only way, Paul, you're going to win if you come is if you go to the Americans.
Robbie,
there's a lot of things I could do in this world, but to do anything for another country other than Canada, you have to cut my wrists, boys. Couldn't do it.
Wow, this podcast took a dark turn.
This is not Mental Health Mondays. This is all together Thursdays. Hey, listen, Ken, you have a question for Robbie, or do you have his rookie card?
I probably do. I got my London Knights green glasses on for Robbie, but I don't know if Robbie won't remember this, but I worked actually at CTV Edmonton when he was at Oilers camp and just putting on a show and just sniping back in the day when he was first drafted. So I'd like to say, Robbie, I was one of the media members being vocal that the Oilers should take you. So I just want to win your favor early in this thing, buddy.
Hey, how thick are his hands? Seriously. At the all, but I'm talking about at the all-you-can-eat buffet now.
Well, I never saw that, but yeah, sick pair of mitts, that's for sure, definitely.
Thanks, boys. I appreciate it.
Hey, Robbie, last word to you, Paul. Obviously, Aaron Kuzak's throwing a barb out there. Let's get the Schremp on the Barbie in Australia. Can't wait to meet Robbie. And okay, Aaron, we'll get you a freaking 44 Vision hat. Holy God.
Now, for me, just final up with Rob. It was great doing the pool this year. Looking forward to next year's pool. Looking forward to some hockey coming back again, hopefully sooner than later. And congratulations on the 24 points and the big win.
Thanks, fellas. Can't wait for the beans. Are they in the mail?
No, they're Canadian maple syrups on them, so it may be a little bit difficult. Just as you leave, Rob, we want to tell Kenny that you actually are calling. Oh, we lost him. Where the hell did he go?
It was bending over.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that you were going to be a dynasty. So you can stay on down below, or stay on until he comes back, and we'll ask him if he feels you can be a dynasty.
He sees potential.
Hey, how's everything going with you? How's everything going in Lafayette as far as the COVID situation? Are you working? Are you playing? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so it's picking up a little bit here. Actually, the KHL guys, the Denali Riga team, had 19 cases or so. Seems to be rampant through there. And then there's another organization. I'm playing in this semi-pro league for a team called Mogo. And there was one team that had a whole organization get it. So
that's right.
So the numbers have gone up a little bit, but we're talking, when the numbers go up, we're talking like 30 to 40 new cases a day, where back in the States, you're getting some places where
we had 800. We had 800 today.
Yeah. So
hey, what's going on, kid?
I don't know what's going on here. Like, you know me, I'm guaranteed.
All right.
If I leave that to other people.
We're going to get
Rogers. Don't you have any pull at Rogers?
No, I don't. I make too much money. I don't talk to the underlings, so I've got to start talking.
Hey, listen, just before we let Robbie, winner, chicken dinner, leave us, he has come out on this program and said, what did he say, Paul?
He said he's going to be a dynasty, although next year, Kenny, you're going to be along for the entire playoffs and not leave us after the first round.
Well, wasn't I winning, though, after the first round? Didn't I do a mic drop?
No, you weren't. No, you had 4 points. You had 4 points. You weren't in last.
Buddy, if I went 500 in life, I'm happy.
All right.
I mean, 4 points in the first round is like saying you won, like you got the 5 shots in the first period and you won the series.
Yeah, exactly. Through my 20s, I
guys,
hit 120, so I'm happy with 500.
I was called the kiss of death. Every team I picked lost, except for Tampa Bay. I picked Tampa Bay in 7 because I really wanted Dallas to win, and Tampa Bay won it. So, hey, Robbie, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you next couple of weeks.
All right.
My
See you,
buddy's
Schrempy.
really serious about representing some stuff over in Australia. I think you'd be a big hit, obviously, with your tricks and that. We'll talk about that this week coming up.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Take
Schremp.
care, boys. Nice
See you,
to
bud.
There's get Schremp on the Barbie. Okay, Kenny, listen. How good was he? He's off, so you can lie.
Half wall in, like seriously, around the net. Sweet set of mitts. There's a guy where I'm from in Nova Scotia, in Pictou, named Teapot. They always used to say sweetest hands east of Montreal. Well, Robbie had the sweetest hands west of Toronto. Dude could put the puck in the net. Just incredible skill. And like you were saying, Gouche, with the tricks he does now, like holy guacamole. Like he does stuff with a puck that I dream of doing with a road hockey ball taped to my stick. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's the what Todd Kierstead does with a golf ball on the golf course.
Yes.
Shrimpy does on the rink. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, has Todd ever shot a golf ball off your knackers?
No, never. I was at a couple tournaments where dudes went down and put his special mate jock there. I love Todd the Bod, but I have trust issues with that area, so I didn't let him do it.
He hit one off of me. He was going to do one out of my teeth, and but then I ended up losing my teeth. Although I have my new set of false teeth, and I just started wearing them a couple days ago. So
yeah, you got the Brent Burns thing going.
Maybe this year. Well, I took them out for a second, but there they are.
Oh,
I think people are getting sick of seeing your teeth. For God, it's going to start coming
teeth. I've never seen you with teeth. Let me see again. Oh my God, you should be an anchor with me now. Look at that smile.
But I can't read though. That's the problem.
I'll guide you through that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Kenny,
they're still not ready yet.
Yeah.
Really great to have you on. Obviously, we've got sitting in the wings as Mags, Jamie Master McGuire. We're going to talk some goaltending you've seen in the NHL. A lot of stuff going on. Maybe before we let you go, we'll bring Mags up and we can have a four-way on the goaltending situation. I've got my thoughts. I'm not that smart, but well, neither are the two other goalies that are on it. We are the only two authors, the official published authors on this panel right now. My book's sold.
I am well in. I'm a month in with Roger Lajoie is writing my life story, Never Give Up, the Paul Rosen story. We're about a month in. We're hoping to be released in March, but congrats on your book.
Thanks, Rosie. Yeah. Way to go. Congrats on that. How are you liking the process of just being grilled about everything that's up in your brain? I love Roger. I got a lot of respect for him. So there's we've gone back a long, long way, and it gets tiring. We're doing an hour every day, 4 to 5 days a week, and there's time. It's getting tiring for me just telling my story. I can't imagine what it's like to actually write the book. Mm-hmm. Well, and Roger's going to have to do that. Like when I did it with Dennis and when I did it with Eddie, when I wrote their books, you need every detail, right? So you might say, oh, we drove in the car down to the rink, and you had to say, well, what kind of car was it? What year was the car, right? What color was it? So we drove in the car to the rink. Doesn't sound as cool as, we packed our gear into our brown 78 Pinto, So you need those details. So it's quite the process, eh? Now we can all take a couple of barbs, right? Because Aaron Kuzak's out in Australia, and it's a barb fest. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some of my memoirs. I know it sounds like, oh my God, you're somebody big, but I got some pretty cool stories that need to be written down. Especially the one nobody even believes this one. A guy named Bruce Jessup and I were on the telephone. He had the phone in Lubeck, Germany, calling Gillette to buy the Montreal Canadiens, and as he hung up the phone, I said, was that really him? He said, yeah. You and I were really going to buy the Montreal Canadiens? Yeah. I said, no, seriously. It's a serious story that needs to be told, and you're going to pee yourself. It's an absolute crazy story. So anyways, I want to do my memoirs. So somebody said, okay, don't write a book, right? So mine's going to be like Groundhog Day. Every time you turn the page, it'll be the same story. But here's one that's good. Can't wait to see your coloring in book. Rosie, I have no idea what that means. I think I know what it means. Yeah. Coloring in the book. He should have said, I can't wait to see your coloring book. Oh, they want you to color it for them. Maybe instead of a book sign, you can color the whole book when they show up to buy it, kind of thing.
That's a good idea.
That's
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Kenny, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I'm trying to find the cover of it.
Here it is.
Well,
I love that you can't remember the name and it's called One to Remember. That's perfect.
that's a concussion. That's all concussions for.
Yeah, concussions.
okay, listen. One to remember, stories from 29 members of the NHL One Goal Club.
Yeah, 39 guys. I talked to 39.
39.
Guys.
Okay.
That's
I thought
fine.
it said 29.
With a forward by the arm dog himself, Colby Armstrong. So yeah, I talked to 39 guys who scored a single NHL goal. I'm sure the three of us all dreamed when we were kids playing road hockey or out on the pond of scoring a goal in the NHL.
Yes.
So approximately 6,500 skaters have played in the NHL over the years, and 450 of them have scored one goal and one goal only. Now, 1,500 guys never scored. So to me, I'm an optimistic guy, and I look at it as, wow, you scored a goal in the NHL. And I can't stand when people go, that guy sucks. No, he doesn't suck. He's in the National Hockey League. And if you scored in the National Hockey League, that is an amazing accomplishment. So what I wanted to know was, what's it like to score in the best league in the world, but only do it once? Is it enough? Is it a tease? What happened? What led to that goal? And what did that goal lead to? And what surprised me when I was writing the book is it wasn't so much about the journey to the goal, but it's the journey that started after the goal. And that kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be the other way around, but our researcher at Sportsnet, he got me a list. There's about 400 guys, give or take at any time, who've scored a single NHL goal. And I mean, I went down the list and I knew some names, and then other guys, obviously I didn't know, and you do a little research, and, I didn't think I'd end up talking to a brain surgeon or a scientist or a Hansen brother, but I did. That's where the book.
Dave Hansen scored one goal. Who'd he score with against?
Dave Hansen scored when he was with the Minnesota North Stars. He scored against Detroit. It was an awesome story, and I know we all love Slapshot. Gouche, I know you know those boys well. And Dave even said, lots of people don't know I was a pro hockey player, let alone played in the NHL, let alone
He's so good looking. He looks like a movie star.
Oh, he's a beauty, man. What an awesome guy. So thanks, Dave, for being part of the book. And
we're going to get him on here.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
What we'll do is, I really think it's cool because there's a bunch of guys in there. I'm going to give you a project. We can have 6 guys on here. So I want you to do your damnedest. I'll make sure Dave's on it. You get another 3 or 4 guys, and we'll do kind of one of those. It won't be a Zoom call, but we'll do a kind of a reunion about 39 guys. We can't put all 39 on. We'll let you do
a few of them.
Now,
there's Dave too. Look, like how Dave Hansen is that shot. I mean, look at that. Look at that hit. That's not the cleanest hit you've ever seen, is it? He's the Minnesota guy with the Northland helmet.
Yeah.
A little bit of the high stick. Maybe
is the Northland helmet, Paul, the one where you blew up? Remember you had to blow it up? Stan Mikita, I think.
Stan Mikita, yeah. He's wearing the Stan Mikita, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beauty bucket. I love it.
So, this is not your first book. You've written a few books. The process, does it get any easier now when you're getting in? Like, if I'm mistaken, is this your 5th book that you've written?
This is 6.
6, okay, close.
It is funny, Rosie, because the process, it does get easier because you learn certain shortcuts. So with this book and with One Night Only in my 2 hockey card books, I'm talking to a lot of guys. So when I wrote my first hockey card book, I did the interviews and then I wrote the book. Now I do the interviews, I take notes during the interview, and then I immediately write the piece afterwards. It's fresh in my mind. It's a lot easier that way. So you save time. I like to believe, I want to go off a little bit of a rant here. I believe in essentialism. I believe in work smart, not work hard. I get a kick out of people who sit in an office all day trying to look stressed, pretend they're working. Just do your job and leave. So by figuring out a few shortcuts and by trial and error, really, because let's face it, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's a little easier and it's a little more enjoyable when you learn to maybe, skate to where the puck is going, not to where the puck has been, Walter and Wayne taught me that. So I never perfected it on the ice, but in life it applies. So that's it's gotten a little easier. Yeah.
Was there in the book doing the 39? First of all, I don't know how you could just pick 39 from all of them, but was there one guy that you're talking to and it blew your mind, just the story talking to him?
Absolutely. So I picked the 39. So first off, I had to eliminate those who are no longer with us. And then you go down the list and you just kind of do some research. And one guy really stood out to me. He had 4 points in 3 NHL games. So I'm thinking, well, what's the deal here? How is this not go any further than this? He scored his goal at the tail end of the season in '88. And about 2 weeks later, he's a black ace during the playoffs. And he was stabbed in a bar in the femoral artery. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My dad's a doctor. I'm not. That's where you stab a guy if you want him to bleed to death.
Yep.
So they got in a tussle with some guys in a bar, and dudes came back and take it to him. So I don't know of many guys who 2 weeks after their first NHL goal are hidden in a hospital from the media and their teammates and are being visited by the head coach and GM, and they almost die, really. And this guy, John English was his name. He doesn't, there's no lasting trauma or anything. He's just like, yeah, it just kind of happened. And within a couple of years, he was done with hockey. He developed some arthritis. Could have been related to the stabbing incident. But I'm talking to a guy who appears on Hockey DB, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points for his NHL line. But beyond those numbers is this story that blew my mind.
Wow.
You're stabbed? And how have I never heard of this? How's this never been out there? Because the Kings kept it a secret. And I ran into a former King who was a teammate of his. And I said, is this? He goes, oh, yeah. Yeah, that was nuts. And John is just the nicest, calmest guy. He owns his own coffee company now. And he was a guy that just kind of played hockey because he thought he was supposed to. He was good, and he thought that's what he was supposed to do. And there's other guys in the book who were thrilled to get a tracksuit playing Junior A, and they thought that was going to be the end of their hockey journey. But they milked it. You guys know, get everything you possibly can out of the game. There's guys like that in the book who never thought they'd skate in the NHL, let alone score a goal. And there's other guys who probably thought they could have scored 500.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've got Mags waiting in the green room. We're going to bring him up. We're going to talk a little bit about goaltending because you actually are a sportscaster and know something about the game. So we'll talk to you about that. But there's some stuff on the right-hand side that are really, really cool. But before I go, there are people that's saying, hey, Kenny, we know you're a really good writer. I got some books that you could write. All right. So we've got some names on the right-hand side. So I'm going to put one out there. Could you write a book? Just visualize this. A guy that never made it to the NHL, but he gets a letter from the Winnipeg Jets general manager, John Ferguson Sr., and you get to go and skate at the Winnipeg Arena it was like the pre-rookie camp, and you hit the goalpost. So could you write a book? I hit a goalpost, but I never played in the NHL. Can you see a book or even a movie? Maybe
Absolutely.
A movie.
Let's call
Through the book. Go right to the movie.
Let's call it Close But Not Enough, the Kerry Goulet story. And
not about me. There's
tons of guys across the world like that, right? Across Canada.
Okay, but look at this one. Great title for your book number 7, Skate to Where the Puck is Going.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's okay. Wayne's. That's Wayne's. I'm not touching that. That's Wayne.
Here's another one. Jeff Christian is the one that wrote. Jeff Christian.
Great guy.
How about this one? Twice to Remember.
2 games?
2 goals.
Yeah.
2 goals. And that's exactly what Jeff scored in the NHL.
It's funny. Riley Armstrong, Colby's brother, he coaches the Maine Mariners now in the East Coast League. And he's tweeted at me and texted me. He's like, I've come so close to both of your books. I played 2 games in the NHL, so he couldn't make one night only. But I scored no goals, so he couldn't make one to remember. So there you go. There's guys circling all around it.
We're going to finalize this, and then we'll talk a little bit about hockey. 3 more really quickly. All right. Can't wait to read this book. Maybe you can write the 29 minutes with Gouche. Trust me, you'll be exhausted. This one, have you met this dude? Better than awesome. It's on Kubo. When I'm done, Gratuny the Loony. Yeah. Honestly, I had him on. Awesome. And Megs, I hope. What?
Amazing. Gratuny the Loony. No, amazing book.
But have you ever had an interview with him?
I've talked to him, yeah.
No, do an interview.
No, I never did an interview with him.
The last 5 minutes, I couldn't even get words out. I was peeing myself laughing. He's right out there. He's on another planet.
That book with Greg Oliver is amazing, and those are the kind of books I love, right? These guys with amazing stories that you never hear of. So I love every hockey book, but that Gratuny the Loony was amazing, yeah.
Do you know Roy Summer? Mm-hmm. He scored 1 goal in his very first game, and he played against Edmonton. Did he score more? Is he just a 1-goal wonder, or do you know that?
He might be. He might be on the list. There's a couple guys. There's 3 guys in NHL history who played 1 game and scored 1 goal. But I had 2 of them in one night only, so I didn't want to go back to the well. One is Brad Fast, who scored the last ever goal in an NHL tie. So there's one for your next dinner
did he not
party.
have a really good junior career?
Pardon?
Did he not have a real good junior career?
He probably did. There's tons of guys in this book. Like when I was a kid, you guys know I'm a big card collector. I thought Kimby Daniels was going to rip it up.
Yeah.
I thought Kimby was going to be this player. Fast forward to 2017, 2018, we're in Swift Current, Saskatchewan for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. I'm playing in the alumni game with the Swift Current Broncos. To my left is Sheldon Kennedy in the room, and to his left is Kimby Daniels. So I said, Kimby, I'm doing this book. He's like, oh, my God, really? Kimby's living in Anchorage, Alaska. Kimby's one of those guys who I thought would have tore it up. Right at the start of his pro career, he tears his knee apart. And in 1990, we thought we were pretty advanced, but they did a number on his knee. He lost all his speed. He still had his hands, and he loved the game. So he went on to play pro hockey till he was 35 up in Anchorage for the Aces in the East Coast League, and he's got 1 goal. Got a ton of sweet hockey cards, sweet mullet, but 1 goal. So his story to me was pretty amazing.
You know what's amazing, Paul? You want to make a comment? Then I've got one.
Yeah, just the last thing for me. How do people get the book?
People get the book. You can get it at Amazon.ca, Amazon.com, Chapters, Book City, or your local bookstore everywhere. Support your local bookstore if you can. This pandemic stunk for a lot of us, but one to remember, available in fine bookstores everywhere.
Hey,
You know what? You must be a sportscaster or something.
Right.
You got a voice. You
Tell you
deliver
what,
the
tomorrow,
message.
when I go to Newmarket tomorrow to see my girlfriend, I will go to the Upper Canada Mall and I will grab a copy.
Sweet, Rosie.
But
Yeah, there's the big chapters there, right?
There is.
Yeah.
And you know what we've learned? Aaron's going to order it today, but you can get both your books. It's on sale in Amazon if you buy both of them.
Oh, if
Did
you
you
buy
notice that one?
if you buy one to remember and one night only, save money right
That's
now at Amazon.ca.
No, the problem is when it says one night only, guys are going to say no. It may be written about me and a bunch of chicks.
Listen,
we're going to bring
one last question, and this is when I was talking to Roger when we were talking about him doing the book, and we're going through all the stuff before he decided to do it. He said there's only one thing when the book comes out, when it's you have nothing to do with it. I don't want you touching the books. You got nothing to do with it. No free books. I know you, Rosie. My dad's always said to me, I'm going to be the most popular guy on welfare. No, I handle everything. No free books. Somebody wants an autograph, you'll autograph for hours. But you want a book, you pay for the book.
That's true, Rosie. It's funny. Free books. That's up to the publisher. That's not up to me. If you're looking around my house for a book, this is the one you're going to find because I got one right now.
Well, yeah, and you had to pay for it. So I went through the whole process too. Keith and I wrote a book called Concussed, and obviously passing grade 12, getting through grade 12 by passing grade 6 twice. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, do a cheap plug just like Kenny did. Go,
Rosie.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get the book Concussed, written by Kerry Goulet and Keith Primo, you can get it at any fine bookstore. Yes, it's Concussed, a great book coming to you.
Wow, you put those teeth in, you're going to take my job.
Oh, no way.
I'm waiting for the movie, but you know what's really funny about it is I actually wrote every word in mine, and Keith got a ghostwriter, so she just called him and she did all the work. And when they got mine, I think I was supposed to be 20,000 words or something like that, and I had 40. Once I got rid of the and a and all that sort of stuff, it came down to 20.
God bless.
Listen, I know we're making fun of it, but it's an amazing book. We want to make sure that you buy it. I know Aaron Kuzak in Australia buys everything. He's probably looking at your hat right now, figuring out who the hell are the Seals. And breaking news just came through. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Mr. Game 7 is announcing his retirement from hockey today.
Oh, really? Wow. How old is Mr. Williams, right? Well, he's 36, 37?
Yeah, I think he's 37, Justin Williams.
Yeah. Good for him.
All right, on the books. tell us anything outside of the norm with this one to remember. Is
Anything
there
else?
somebody 39? Is there somebody else? Who's the biggest name in that book outside of Dave Hansen?
Billy Smith, Hockey Hall of Famer, first goalie to ever score a goal. There's some beauty names in there. Dennis Bondy, pro hockey's all-time penalty minutes leader. Nova Scotia legend and WHA legend, Frank never beaten, Frank seldom beaten, Frank always beaten. He's in there. Frank's story is
Which one is
absolutely
it? I can't remember which one it is.
Oh, it's never, baby. Frank's never to me. Frank's a beauty from down in Antigonish County, Nova Scotia. Brierley Brook, as you'll tell you. His story is incredible. I mean, John recruited by John Brophy, just wild stuff. Les Kozak, world-renowned scientist who happened to score a goal once upon a time. And as you guys know, there's so many great hockey players who never made it to the NHL or maybe got a sniff. Darren Haydar, Milton, Ontario.
Yeah, you were saying that name.
Kevin Bieksa was talking about him on Hockey Night in Canada going, this guy was amazing.
Yeah.
Wrong era, right? So many guys in this book were just in the wrong era. Yeah. So
when
I really like the stories.
Yeah, when I came up with the St. Boniface Saints, there were a lot of guys touted. A guy named Terry Tatum, who was my centerman, phenomenal player. Bob Herzog, one of the toughest guys I've ever played with, fantastic defenseman. There were 5 of us touted to at least get a shot at it. On that team, I was the only one that actually got a letter. That's all I got. But nobody else made it. The guy that made it from Winnipeg in that era was a guy named Mike Ridley, who came out of the University of Manitoba and absolutely and then Dave Rick. Sorry?
Sabres?
No. I thought it Vancouver. I thought he was in Vancouver.
I thought Ridley played with the Sabres also, I'm pretty sure.
Well, we'll take a look. We're going to bring Mags up right now.
I just actually looked on the internet. Williams is 39 years old.
Oh, wow. Good for him, man. That's awesome to go that long.
And I wanted to mention Dave Richter. Dave Richter was he was a year behind us. Darren Boyko, who only played a couple of games.
He was in one night only. He was in one night only. And Darren is in the Finnish Hockey Hall of Fame. He went over to Finland and racked it up. And last I talked to Darren, he works at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Beauty guy.
Absolutely, he's a good friend of ours. So he's one of the guys that'll come on. He's hilarious.
Great.
He's one of the funniest guys. But when you think about it, out of a team that was touted with 5 guys that some of them were called no miss, everybody missed.
Yeah.
And so I can tell you right now, Terry Tatum, Bob Herzog were 2 players that I just said, there's no way they're not going to play in the National Hockey League. And with what happened to Bob Herzog really quickly is he got into a fight with Bob, I hope you're not listening, tough as nails, got into a fight. Rick Loeb, who was a natural goal scorer, couldn't skate very good, wasn't very tough, got into a fight, and Rick got him on the nose with a nice punch. And Robert was never the same after. Everything went downhill because he wasn't, he was beaten and it should have never happened.
Yeah.
So before you bring Jamie, I'll just go real quick one here. Mike Ridley was undrafted. He played with Vancouver, Toronto, Washington, and the Rangers.
Okay. I was wrong again.
You were wrong. But here's one.
I thought he played with Buffalo too.
Here's a comment that came from Aaron Kuzak. Hey, let's get Liam McGuire on. He'll be able to tell us stories on all 400 players.
Yes, he will. Guaranteed. Liam would know all these dudes.
Mags.
Hey, wake up, Jamie.
I was checking on Williams. 20 years in the NHL. He
Amazing.
19. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, James, you know our buddy Reeder?
I don't know if we've met before, Ken. Nice to see you.
How are you, bud?
I'm good, thank you.
He's not the good-looking one on his show.
No, I'm not. No.
But you're not a moron.
Oh, you saw that the other day, eh? No, I look, if there's a moron title at Sportsnet, it's between me and Sixero. We're going to fight for that trophy.
Well, didn't Elliot think he was? Or no, he
said
Elliot
said I'd be accused of being a moron. And I said, look, when it comes to the top moron here at Sportsnet, take it easy because I'm it, right?
Hey, listen, it's great to have both of you on. If you don't mind staying on a little bit.
No
Reeder, have you I don't know, Ken, if you, Jamie, if you know, Ken's a published author, very successful. He's got a couple of books. If he could write a book about Jamie Master McGuire, what would be the title?
I don't really want to go there, but probably my recovery from addiction. Forget about hockey.
Okay. Yeah,
recovery. That would be my story. My 20 years in
I
review.
apologize.
We
I
could
apologize.
do
Let's
another.
ask Rosie. Rosie, what would be the book on Mags?
Well, if you want to get to like a real good juicy, you could just say Jamie Maguire, Keep Your Pants On, the Jamie Maguire story.
What?
Getting greasy here.
I love you, brother.
That is so offside. Hey, listen, anyways, I was telling you, Kenny, I was going to be doing. Obviously, I don't want to take the thunder out of Rosie because his book's going to outsell mine just because of his looks and his new teeth.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a book. It's going to be memoir things, right? And I stole the title from Paul Stewart. It's called
The Ref.
My. No, that's not the name of the book. But Paul Stewart, the ref, he was a tough kid. And so he's going to, I asked him if I could use the name. My skates are my passport to the world.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that my skates actually got me everywhere that I've gotten in my life because I didn't get a formal education. And so it got me to, I was on the China Wall. I was on the Berlin Wall fell down. So I'm going to ask you to help me a little bit, reader.
That's not a bad title at all. I like that.
I saw video of Tony and Kerry walking on the Great Wall of China. I'm telling you, that wall, I thought Gouche was going to have a heart attack. And
I ran the last part.
I'll give you a quick one. Jamie Maguire, Protect the Crease, the Jamie Maguire story.
That's a good one.
That's a lot better than the first title.
Yeah.
All right, we got two intelligent goaltenders on the show, and then they got you and me, reader.
Yeah.
I really want to get into the psyche of what's going on with goaltenders right at this moment. Of course, you guys have probably heard that Crawford's not going to return to the Blackhawks. We know that Leonard signed in Las Vegas. We've all were kind of speculating, what does that mean for our friend Fleury? And then, of course, there's a lot of goalies going on the market. And of course, the great signing, the Ottawa Senators. Paul and I were very blessed to be able to have Tim Stützle on our show just prior to him getting drafted 3rd overall. And we'll get him back on. And look at what Ottawa's done. So I'd like to hear from you two guys. And Paul, you throw some stuff in here too. I'd like to hear your take on the goaltender situation. Who may go where? Is it wrong that Crawford did so much for the Chicago Blackhawks that he's, they're going to let him slide? Lundqvist, there were rumors of where he's going to go. Love to hear it, guys. Jamie, go first.
Sure, I'll first touch on the Chicago situation. They're obviously in a rebuild because they're, they also made a decision to get rid of Subban, and they're not re-signing Crawford, so they're going to go with Colin Delia and their other young goaltender. I don't know. I was on the side of people who thought that they would probably bring Crawford back at least to mentor one of the younger goalies. I was a little bit surprised to hear that, but obviously it's they're going into a rebuild at this point. Rosie, are you surprised at the Crawford situation?
No, I'm actually not surprised unless they could get him very cheap, like maximum $1 million for 1 year. He had the bad concussion problems the last little bit. I'm really not surprised at all. They're obviously they're not going far next year unless they decide to shock us and maybe go after a Holtby or somebody. There's a lot of still goalies that are available, but I'm not surprised that they didn't re-up Crawford.
Yeah, I'm going to be surprised to see what kind of cash free agent goalies get just because, the cap's not going up. We're in a weird financial situation. How many owners in the NHL might be a little tight on cash, period, alone in their lives, let alone away from an NHL salary cap because of what's been going on with the pandemic, with COVID. And I think we just got to get used to veteran goalies, veteran players in general, who may have served their whole careers with one team just being let go because that, again, is just a reality of the cap world. It stinks. You're going to have to buy a couple different jerseys of a player if he's your favorite player throughout his career because that's just the way it's going to go. I mean, the Lundqvist thing, it's painful. If you're a Rangers fan, the Blackhawks thing, it's painful. If you're, if a Crawford fan, but that's just reality of the business. And I mean, Chicago's had to do it before after all those cup wins, right? All the guys they had to get rid of.
Always. I don't know if you guys heard today too, that Dallas and Khudobin, obviously he had the great playoffs, he had the great run or whatever. They've said to him, see what happens in free agency. He's going up. So, his famous line, we're not going home. I think he's not coming home. I think somebody's going to pick him up as a backup.
Isn't that reminiscent of the run Halak went on a few years ago? I think it was 2010 for the Habs, and they had to decide between Price and Halak. And you know what? You might have just had a good run with that goalie, but you've got to be realistic about it, right? You got to look at the big picture, and it stinks, and you got to take the emotion out of it. But that's the difference between fans and management.
Yeah.
You know, Ken,
but what you still think Khudobin is a backup, though, right? He's not a number one guy.
You asking me, Rosie?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. There's a reason he's been a backup for 11 years in the National Hockey League, starting in Boston and then everywhere else that he's gone. It's because he's a backup goaltender. He went on a good run, but I would be very surprised with all the goalies out there to see somebody take him on as a number one. He's a backup goalie, and he's good for, you know what he's good for? He's good for 30 games to go 500 and have a save percentage over 900.
And that's that's an awesome thing too, right? Like like I know Montreal went out and they got another guy, they got Glass, but that's the kind of goalie that makes a difference because, I mean, you can't play your number one goalie 70 games, and there's so many back-to-back nights right now, and who knows what a condensed schedule is going to look like going forward too. So you want a good, reliable backup,
right?
Well, what the other thing Ken said about salary, I mean, Leonard set a precedent. I mean, $5 million for 5 years, like that's not a lot of money. And I was Rosie, you had mentioned it earlier because of all of his issues and whatnot, he may be happy taking less money, but that has set the bar quite low for a lot of other goalies that are out there right now.
I want to know both you guys what you think of Markstrom. I think, to me, he is the number one goalie out there. Vancouver cannot let him go. They got to throw whatever at him. They're such a good young team. I don't know. That's my opinion, James. You're shaking your head. What do you think?
I shake my head only because it's salary cap issues. You know, if they sign Markstrom, then they're going to have trouble signing some of their other players. And it's easier for them, I believe, to find a goaltender moving forward than some of the players that they will have to come up with big money to sign.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same situation with Dallas, right? Like, so does Vancouver fall in love with Thatcher Demko, right? Like, what is Thatcher Demko? So Dallas has to figure out what is Anton Khudobin. So kind of the same situation going on there. I see some similarities. But Elliot Friedman was telling us, you know, maybe the Oilers will be in the running for Markstrom if he tests the water. So that could be fun.
I hear that the Oilers are looking at Holtby.
Oh, I'm sure they're looking at a lot of options right now.
I think
guys, don't mind me.
Hey guys, there's my young 7-year-old. My young 7-year-old just walked in the door. He's starting goalie this year. He's speedy on the ice. He's starting goalie. I want to know, should a 7-year-old be playing with goalie skates or regular skates? And what's your advice for a young goalie?
Hey, bring him in. Bring him in. We'll give him a.
Kobe, come here.
Yeah,
come on, get him.
I want to talk to you.
You got two great goaltenders.
Hi, Kobe. How are you?
Good.
Good. I think the sooner you get into goalie skates, the better. I don't think it's necessary this year, but if you can find a pair that would fit your little feet, you should try them.
Do you have goalie skates?
Yep.
Okay. Say hi, Rosie. Show Kobe your teeth.
Hold on.
Look at those.
Oh,
That's crazy, eh, Cole? Hey, listen. You know, he won a gold medal for Team Canada in the Olympics. And Jamie McGuire is a fantastic goalie coach that got him an Olympic. So I'm just thinking, Colby, what happens if we ask Mags to train you a little bit?
Do you like that? Okay. What about style, boys? Butterfly right away. What do you play if you're a young goalie?
You stop the puck, Colby. That's what you do right away. You
I
stop.
like that.
You just stop the puck and you have fun with it. And whatever happens.
Yeah, Rosie.
Yeah.
When we do our little thing, when we get out of this COVID thing, we're going to invite him.
Yeah.
I'll be a shooter. I'll take some shots on him, and 100 shots. I'm going to have 101 goals, and because I'm not going to let down on this kid.
First of all, you're not scoring on me, Colby. You and me will share the net, and we'll let all these guys shoot on us.
Do you like that?
Oh my God, there's no chance.
Okay, tell the boys thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
hang on 1 sec.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 sec. This is who I don't want you to look like, okay? Please make sure you promise me, okay? Watch.
Small saves! And just what sort of antics are we up to today, small saves?
Right?
You like that one? Cool, buddy. So give them a pucks and deep. Do it. Okay, say, buy the book.
Buy the book.
I'm buying mine tomorrow, Colby. I'm buying mine.
Thanks, buddy.
Buy the
Thank
book.
you. Nice to meet you, buddy.
I can't wait to get my inheritance.
He just finished ball hockey too. He's got a good sweat on, so the kid loves
Okay,
it.
there you go. Hey, look
You
at there's the book. Buy that book. I bet you we sell 5 books today.
Sweet, that's 5 more.
Look at that.
Oh, there's the other one.
Now you can go to Amazon, guys. You can get a deal. Each book is 21. I figured this out all on my own. 21.75. Amazon, you can pick them both up for 40.
Wow. And didn't earlier you said you didn't have a formal education? I think you were kidding us.
No, I use the. All right, could you guys tell me about Lundqvist? I love the guy. I know people were saying about his ego won't let him do certain things. Obviously, he's not going back to New York. That's not a decision. Will he stay in the National Hockey League? Will he go and play with his brother?
Personally, I'd love to see him sign in Washington. And now, hope he's not going to be there. I would love, and you know what? Talk about ego. Can you imagine him going to Washington and winning a cup with those guys? And just stick it to the Rangers, and I, from what I've heard, they have some interest in him. So that would be really interesting for me.
I love it, Mags. I love where you're going. That's the juicy story, right? And he stays in the red, white, and blue. He just trades it in. I think he's got hockey left in him. I love that story, and he's not going to cost you a ton, right? No. What's it going to cost you? $1 million a year, maybe? Go for it. I love it. And I would say if I'm Lundqvist, I'm going somewhere where I have a chance at the cup. And if there's not an organization that doesn't give me a chance at a cup, see ya. Bye-bye NHL. They play somewhere else.
I agree 100%. He wants to play. He's not just going to sit around. He wants to play. I'm going to say at least half the year. Split with another goalie would be a great fit. Who knows what's going on with? They're talking about next year. You going out for a team like Toronto, going out to the West Coast and playing, instead of playing 3 games and coming back, playing 8 games or 9 games over a couple of weeks. And
an old Seals road trip.
There you go.
Yeah,
absolutely. Really. So, and I think that would be incredible. Mags, I hope that, because I like Lundqvist. I had a chance to meet him a couple of times. I think he's got a ton of hockey left in him, at least for the next year. And I think winning a Stanley Cup for him would be incredible. But if he doesn't get what he wants, he's in the driver's seat, he goes back to Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a lot of goalies out there, guys. I mean, you
throw them out there, Mags. Let's list them right now. List the goalies.
Well, Markstrom and Holtby are the 2 starters that are moving on right now. Guys that were backups. There was a great article on Sportsnet today. Guys that were backups that are become starters are Grice, Calvert, and was it yours?
No,
Grice,
Calvert,
and Thibodeau.
Oh, you're a company man.
And then former starters: Lundqvist, Crawford, Anderson, Jimmy Howard, Mike Smith, Ryan Miller, and
that's right. I read that.
Not to mention that Fleury and Kumpfer in Arizona are up for trade right now, possibly. So there's a lot of goals that can change teams.
And plus, you got to remember the old expansion drafts coming up in a year, right? So do you sign a guy, and if you're at risk of losing a guy, do you really want to back up that you're putting a lot of money into, or that you think you're going to play a lot and you're relying on a lot, and then he gets snapped up for nothing? So it's and like you said, Mags, with Leonard, with the money he just took, I mean, I would kill for a contract like that, but I'm sure there's a lot of other goalies looking at that going,
getting upset. He went for term. He wanted 5 years, and he took a little less. I think he could have got 6.5 for 3 years, but to go 5 for 5 years, I love the fit. And then look at Vegas. They got Subban back. Like, Subban was there with Fleury. Subban went to Chicago for Leonard. Now Subban's back there as his backup. Did they buy Fleury out?
When did Subban go back to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I didn't hear that one either, but
I heard they picked him up a couple days ago. They picked him up on waivers from the Hawks a couple days ago.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I just knew they weren't going to re-sign him. I didn't see that. That's cool.
Ken, what, did you played, right?
Midget C.
Now, were you a goalie?
No, I was kind of a sniper, second line grind guy. Don't want to brag here in a public forum, but I did win the SO Medal of Achievement for most sportsmanlike player on the Pictou Maripax Midget C team. Did you have a specific question about my hockey career? Because I could just keep going on.
Ken, where are you from? Where are you from in the East Coast?
I'm from the lovely town of Pictou, Nova Scotia, the birthplace of New Scotland. There you go.
Very nice. I played at St. Mary's for 4 years.
Oh, love it. When did you play for you?
90 to 94.
Oh my God, that's my wheelhouse.
Acadia was dominating at that time. So
were they ever?
Yeah, they were pretty good.
My good buddy
let's
Darren
get back to the reason why I asked the question. Let's get back to the reason I asked the question.
All right, fine. Sorry.
Okay.
God, love festival.
We've lost control of the show. It's the Ken Reid show.
It's unbelievable. No, and Max, take over. Okay, I'm going to sit back. No,
it's a maritime connection.
No, because Max, I couldn't even remember the name of his book. One to remember. So I don't want to lose this thought. Yeah. I asked him, because why is our little one going in net? If you were such a prolific goal scorer, why are you allowing to be in net?
So he's always had a hankering for the net, and I told him if you can skate, then you can play in nets, and he's a pretty good little skater. He's a good player, but he wanted to go in goal, so who am I to say no, right? So I said, go for it. We'll buy you a cheap pair of pads, and if you like it, you like it. He plays at 8 on Saturdays, and he woke me up by himself at 5:30 last Saturday. So if you're the human alarm clock and you're a kid, that's a good thing. And my second guy is 5 and doesn't give a hoot, doesn't want to play at all. So
hey, listen, Max.
Yeah,
Max. Could you do us a favor? We know how great you are as a goalie. Reader, you've been a big supporter of us. We're going to do lots together in the future. We got a couple of charity events coming up that we're going to need all hands on deck for Stop Concussions and, of course, Connected Our Mental Health. I would love to find out when we have some empty ice here. Reader, you sneak him out of school. All right?
Oh, no problem.
Mags, okay. Mags, you bring your whistle, and Rosie, you bring your skates or your sled. Sorry, not skates. Bring your skate. Sorry about that. Bring your sled. I'll bring these soft mitts.
Oh yeah.
We'll have a little bit of fun with the kid. I think he'd be happy.
He would love that. He's been playing. He got the goalie skates last year. He went nets out on the pond with just his regular skates. It was a lot easier for him to move. So he's adjusting the goalie skates, but he's having fun. And I asked him after his first little scrimmage this year, I said, what do you think when guys come in with the puck? He said, I just think I'm going to stop it. So I said, way to go, buddy.
Love it. Good for him.
Jamie, I know you've coached a lot of players in that, and I've got another book. God, these book ideas are just coming from everywhere. This one's a good one. Kenny, has there ever been a goalie that played one game in the only one game in the National Hockey League, and that was a shutout?
I'm sure there has been. I would bet the farm on it that there has been. There's some amazing goalie stories out there. Like the one that jumps out to me, guys, Frank McCool, the Leafs, like I want to say 48, 49, even the early 50s. He wins a cup and he has to quit because of ulcers. Like just crazy stories like that, Did
Turk Broda have to lose weight because he ate too many pancakes?
What's that?
Turk Broda, didn't he have to quit because he ate too many pancakes?
Wow, I can finally relate to Turk Broda.
What about the great Tony Esposito? Starts with the Montreal Canadiens, plays 5 games with them, 3 shutouts, goes to Chicago, and his rookie year, 15 shutouts. It's still a record to this day.
Never be broken. That's a safe hockey record. There's who's the goalie? He played 1 game for Winnipeg. He was in my book. Ron, the name escapes me. He runs a furrier company in Winnipeg now. Gouche made a cross with him, but he played junior for Brandon. He played 1 game in the NHL. He let in something like 9 or 10 goals. But hey, he set the record for most goals ever given up by a goalie in his first game. But he also set the record for most saves ever made by a goalie in his first game.
Oh, he had 90 shots on him?
Yeah, it's one of those deals where you get 60 shots against you, so you save 51 of them, right?
Has there ever been a book just on goalies, like your book, obviously on scoring your first goal in 1 game, but has there ever been a book out there just on goalies, on the great goalies and goalies that were okay or average or goalies that stunk, but just on goalies?
I'm sure there has been. Mags, you probably read a lot of goalie books as a kid.
To be honest with you, I mean, I don't know, but there has to be. There absolutely has to be.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Pascu has just come on, and Paul has said, Paul just look at what he just gave us.
There you
1945.
go. Frank McCool.
Where is it, Paul? 1945 was Frank McCool.
Yeah, won a cup and quit because of ulcers. Crazy.
Kerry, if I could jump in for a sec.
I want to hear your story.
Ken, earlier I heard you say that, and it's a number that I throw out sometimes, only 6,500 people have ever played a game in the National Hockey League in over 100 years. And that just goes to tell you how special those 6,500 guys are. Not to mention that probably 1,500 of them didn't make a career out of it. So now you're down to about 4,500 to 5,000 guys that were able to make a career in over 100 years. That's how hard it is to make the National Hockey League.
Yeah, well, that's why I write these books, because I want the guys who made it, even for the briefest of moments and who scored, just one to be respected. There's nothing drives me crazier than, oh, that guy sucks. No, he doesn't. And Mags, that just shows you the bottleneck continues right up to the top level in the world, right? And
Absolutely.
I do charity tournaments quite a bit, and I'm hanging out John Scott. I'm playing against John Scott one day.
Yeah, he knows
and
John
we come off the ice, and somebody comes up. He's like, "Man, you're awesome, John. I didn't realize you were good." He's like, he didn't take it. I'm like, he played in the NHL. Like he played NCAA Division I hockey. Like, obviously he's good. And he'd say, people always come up shocked that I can skate or I can shoot. I'm like,
well,
I don't think people realize how tough it is.
No, it's crazy.
One of the things that drives me crazy, and I don't go to many games, obviously, no hockey now, but used to back in the day, you get a cheap ticket, you go to a game, and you just pray. When I was sitting down going to a Leaf game, I would just pray that I didn't have an idiot behind me, in front of me, or beside me that would be talking to whoever that guy's he's a bum, shoot the puck, you don't know what you're doing. I wanted so many times to just knock the guy out. What are you talking about? You're going back home to live in your parents' basement, you bum, you. This guy's incredible.
Hey, listen, I picked out 4 goalie pictures because we've been talking about goalies. I'm going to show them in a second. We had Johnny Scott come to Australia. And Johnny Scott, we were going to have John Scott right after he won MVP of the All-Star game, and Brent had got us hooked up, and we brought him over. One of the nicest, like he had. We needed to charter a plane because we had to bring all his kids, and they're all girls.
A lot of kids.
Oh, he's got 5 girls.
Like, he just had another one.
I know. Well, I don't know if it's 6 or 5. He's got a whole line.
Yeah.
So anyways, he goes over there and he plays and he has a great time, and he's treated like a rock star, and he's got great story. Like the stories that come out of this guy are ridiculous. So anyways, the first time I met Johnny Scott, I didn't officially meet him. When we were planning the Ice Hockey Classic right in the early days, the promoter was a guy named Craig Douglas out of New Zealand, had never seen a live hockey game, but he'd seen one on TV, and he says, that's what I want to bring down to New Zealand. So he flew up to come and watch a game, and I took him to an exhibition game, Toronto against
Please say Buffalo. Yes.
Buffalo. And it was the exhibition game where he went after Kessler.
Kessel.
Right? Kessel. Sorry. And it was fantastic. Sorry, you're right. Sorry. So he went after him, that whole shenanigans, you remember it. And then all of a sudden the 2 goalies come and they do the punch up as he saw it. And he had never seen a game before. And he said, holy shit, can we bring that to us? Come on, we need that in New Zealand. The first exhibition game where 2 goalies are pounding each other.
So, Gouche, you're telling me that people actually like passion in hockey fights?
No.
Come on. The analytics people tell me that's not the way to go. The smart people tell me nobody likes that.
Who's that?
Is that Lauren Shabbat? Is that what we got there?
Lauren Shabbat? How about this one? I pulled this one up for you.
Oh, beauty. See, you know what I love about that picture of Tony, guys? Can we go back to that picture, Gouche, for a second? Yeah. Okay, this is what you guys are a couple goalies, so you might disagree with me on this. What do you see behind Tony Esposito there, guys?
The net?
The net. What do you not see behind a goalie now? The net.
Okay.
Players should be rewarded for a good shot. Goalies should have to make saves, not block pucks. Tony made saves. Tony didn't block pucks. Mags, I know you're disagreeing, But
no,
I
I
think
don't disagree. It's just the game has changed.
Yeah.
it is. But the gear now is just still
But the
ridiculous.
sticks have changed, and they shoot the puck harder, and goalies need bigger equipment because it's a little bit more dangerous. So it's not just the goalies who have changed, but the players have evolved as well.
Agreed.
Hey, Paul,
Agreed.
do you remember the story? Sorry, Kenny, go.
I'm just going to say, where do you guys stand on this? And everybody throws rocks at me and says I'm a moron. And I get it. And I'm old school. I think we should go back to wooden sticks. I think these one-piece sticks should be outlawed. They are akin to the aluminum bat in baseball. And if you went back to the wooden sticks, how affordable would that make it for families trying to play?
I don't disagree with that at all. I do not disagree with that at all.
Max, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree or agree either way. I like
you sit on the fence all
I
the
like
time.
the way the guys ripped the puck today, but that's also why the goalie equipment got much bigger, as you know, Ken.
Right. But what if we then just outlawed those sticks to the NHL level? But then again, guys wouldn't be able to handle the biscuit when they get there. But I just think we should treat the composite sticks the way that baseball has treated the aluminum bat.
If you looked at Tony Esposito in that picture, his gloves were GM21, his catcher, and a GM12, his blocker. Back in the day, those gloves, you looked at that glove now, you'd laugh.
And those pads are 20 pounds each by the third, with all the water they soaked up.
Deer hair.
I've had an opportunity to travel with a bunch of these guys with all the charity stuff that we've done, and had a chance to be with Phil Esposito, and he was telling some stories with Scotty Mack, and he was telling the story about his brother when Bobby Orr took a slap shot. I may not have the right names. Somebody took a slap shot from the point, playing for the Boston Bruins, and the puck came out faster than it went in, and he had the little nets. Remember that story?
Oh, between his pads there?
Yeah.
The
Remember that?
Yeah, the 5-hole, yeah. Tony, you guys know. Tony was an innovator, man.
Yeah.
The masks, the butterfly.
Not the mask. Yeah, he put on the mask. Oh, there's when I love Johnny Bauer. What an incredible guy.
Yeah.
But Tony had the little cage on it. You remember his mask by the end of his career? He had that little cage he put on his mask.
Mm-hmm. It's on his 83-84 O-Pee-Chee. There's a great shot of Tony. It's a close-up. And you can see that little mask on the outside.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you guys would know this better than I did. Tony couldn't see very well, right?
No. You're right.
Yeah.
Do you remember the shot he let in from Jacques Lemaire in 71 from center?
No.
Yep.
Okay, this is the last picture I'm going to show you.
Turk.
Yeah.
I was looking for the one where he was sitting in the crease. I couldn't find it. Where he had it was either hamburgers or pancakes.
I think it was pancakes. Yeah, the stacks.
Okay, I want to go around.
Just think of the balls on the Gouche very quickly. Like, just think about it. They played the game without a mask. They played the game with terrible equipment, and they battled just like they do today. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And what about Mags? What gets me, and Rosie, you can chime in on, you'll know this too, the upper body gear. You're basically playing with a catcher's chest protector.
Right? Yeah,
puck's being drilled at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was two-piece back then.
Yeah.
I wore two-piece, that's for sure. Oh, my
Wow.
God. Here we go. See?
Wow. Terry.
They kept coming back.
What a photo, eh?
Hey, before we let you guys all go, you've been great. Thank you so much for joining Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen, brought to you by the Hockey News. And, of course, One to Remember book at Amazon. Make sure you get a copy of it. And Sports Illustrated. And
Paramount Sports Management, where we love doing the show from.
all three of you guys are going to get the opportunity to tell how great I am. No. All three of you are going to be able to do this. I want to hear your one goaltender story, somebody that you had an opportunity, your favorite goaltender, and a story about him. You've got 30 seconds each. Rosie, go first.
Okay. 2010, I'm standing by. We are doing a little combine for Vancouver. The men's team were there. The women's team were there. We were there. We were on the ice. I look over, and a bunch of the men are by the glass watching. Brett Burns, a bunch of them. Marc-Andre Fleury's the third-string goalie. He's watching. Jeff Schneider, who's our coach, lets a ripper slap shot go. Able body, obviously, rips off my head and flies into the crowd. You see, my face is the middle of the net. Come off the ice, and Fleury comes up to me, and he says, "Oh my God, you're a crazy man," and other things that I can't say on our show. But But what just he couldn't believe that I was sitting in the net and letting guys shoot cannons at my face in the middle of the net. And he was amazing. Just a great guy. I hope he signs. I hope he gets to play this year with a team that appreciates him.
That was 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Whatever.
I don't understand this comment.
Seconds.
I don't understand this comment. Battle of the Bulge. Is he talking about the guys on the set?
No, I hope not.
All right, Mags, you, bud.
Quickly, I got to stay close to home and say Hutch's first game in the NHL. When Hutch played against Minnesota in his first game, and the excitement when he found out he was going to start, and he only played 3 games that year, but it was for me that was that's my best goalie story ever, and the mentor trip this year going with the Leafs that Hutch invited me on. That was great.
Awesome.
Really nice to hear. That's
great.
Thank you for that. Reader.
I guess mine, when I was 14, I was a level 2 referee in Pictou, Nova Scotia, and there was this little goalie in town. I'll never forget, he made this awesome glove save, and I said, that's a great little save, Joey. Went back and dropped the puck. I don't know, 20 years later, I'm working at CTV Edmonton, and the Detroit Red Wings are playing the Edmonton Oilers, and the Oilers and the Wings announced that their goalie, their backup's going to make his first NHL start, and everyone's going around, who is this? I lead the charge into the Detroit Red Wings dressing room, and I interview little Joey McDonald, who made that save years ago, and he's now starting for the Detroit Red Wings against the Edmonton Oilers. He played in a 3-3 tie that night. It was a hockey night game, and I was just Joey and I still laugh about it. It was I cheer for people, and that was a story that was full circle for me. So I was really proud of Joey McDonald that night. So that's my favorite story.
What a great story. Hey, listen, he meant that's funny. Turk Broda was benched because he's too fat. Now, I wasn't making a fat joke. Okay, mine real quickly is Johnny Bauer. Paul, you've heard this story before. We're doing a tour across Canada for the Hockey Hall of Fame, and they'd asked me, Ronnie Ellis had got me set up with Hager, the pant company. So they were doing all these things. So they had in my car, I had, oh my God, why can't I remember the name? Glenn Hall and Johnny Bauer, and my wife was in the front seat, and there was going back and forth, and I turned the radio on and came up that commercial for the skating. It's on now, the skating, the pro guys with a girl, they go and skate.
Battle of the
Blades. Yeah. Not Battle of the Bulge. So Battle of the Blades comes up and they do it, and Ty Domi will be skating tonight. And in the back, I hear Johnny Bauer say again, that Ty Domi, what the hell is he doing in there? I can skate faster now with my pads on. What the Christ? That's a terrible representation of hockey. That was Johnny Bauer.
Beauty man.
Yeah, I got some beauty,
right.
Johnny.
Final words, Meg, quick.
What a great guy.
I'm really excited for free agency tomorrow. I'm excited to see, or this week, to see how things play out, and it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting to watch.
Rosie,
I'm excited to get my book tomorrow, and then get after I pay for it, get Ken Reid to sign it.
Is there any way we can get a deal? Like, is there a way we can get a 2-for-1 coupon?
Probably, yeah. Just get greasy at the cashier.
I'm paying for it.
Final thoughts. Mags, did you know a guy named Paul Bromby who played basketball at St. Mary's? He's my boss at Sportsnet now, and he used to be a bouncer at JJ's, and we think he may have kicked me out of there once.
I know I don't, but I spent a few nights at JJ's before I went into recovery. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
There's no doubt you were thrown out. And listen, guys, thank you very much for being part of Group 5. Yeah. We know you're have busy schedules, doing nothing. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Reader, we're going to line that up. Mags, Rosie, we got a big event coming. We're planning it right now. Please, 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 COVID, take care of us. Let's get rid of it. Everybody, stay safe, stay at home. I know it's going to be tough on this Thanksgiving, maybe to try and hold it back a little bit, guys. It's all for our kids. That's why we're doing all of this. So, and I look forward to getting to see you guys live, having a beer, or having a coffee, or even a Coke.
Beauty. Thanks, boys. Mags, nice meeting you, buddy.
You too, Ken. Thanks, Gouche. Bye, Rosie.
Take care, guys.
Two great guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Mags is a classic. The question I asked, I see him in the back room, the question about his book. Obviously, there's two sides to everybody, or there's two trials and tribulations, right? Obviously being a goalie and doing what he did and getting you, obviously he's talking about Hutch, that's got to be so satisfying what he did for you and you winning a gold medal. That maybe you didn't make it pro, but you made it in other ways, which is fantastic. And of course, one of the greatest things that you can talk about, and it is your sobriety, that the fact that you can get over, or it's not over, you guys are in a constant battle, I know that, but the fact that you can stand up and say I'm clean, whether it's 1 month or 21 years, it's absolutely amazing, because you know what, not a lot of people can do it.
You're 100% right. Absolutely. And I say this all the time, no matter where I go. Jamie Maguire, without him, there is no way I perform the way I perform over my career, especially that week in Torino, in the game on March the 18th, 2006 in Torino, with the first shutout in Canadian history. There's no way I'd do it without him. Maguire Goalie School, I will be indebted to for the rest of my life.
That's why I don't mind getting him on with Reader. That'd be a lot of fun. Listen, don't forget, we have Gouche live, Aussie style. They forgot to tell us, Paul, that it's daylight savings time over there. So I will be in that studio at 5:30 this Sunday coming up, and we have got a ripper. I'll tell you, Rick Lanson is his name. It is a story you want to try and listen to. This is a great, great story. It's going to touch upon some concussions, trial tribulations of life, but this guy was an absolute legend, both on and off the field. Playing,
yeah, I saw that. I did a little research on him. I saw that this afternoon. I'm looking forward to watching that for sure. So it's going to be 5:30 now instead of 6:30.
When does our daylight savings show up? Hurry!
Are we having that anymore? Did they stop that, or is it? I don't know.
I'm not sure. But don't forget, please join us 5:30 a.m. Robert Wine has already said he's got the coffee pot brewing. He's not even going to take a shower. He's going to go right to the show. Please put deodorant on, Robert.
It doesn't bother me. We're not smelling them.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching Gouche Live, presented by the great people at the Hockey News and, of course, Sports Illustrated.
And Paramount Sports Management, where we will be packing up the studio very soon.
See you, kid.
Let's play some hockey.